Every day is 24 hours. And some people are very, very fruitful and effective, and some people just waste their time day after day after day. And that's a choice that we make. But there's one thing about time: once it goes by, you never get it back. So how tragic it is to waste any day of your life. I think we need to live every day like it was our very last one, and live it to the absolute fullest that we can live it. So I want to just give you a few things that I think will help you maybe get your day going in the right direction and maybe affect the whole rest of your day. And I hope it helps you every single day of your life. What are some of your mornings like? Do you go to bed intending to get up and spend time with God, but then when the alarm goes off, you hit the snooze? Then you hit the snooze again, and then you hit the snooze again. And then you've laid in bed too long, and so then you get up, and of course now you have no time for anything. And you're in a frenzy, and you're in a rush, and so that makes you grouchy. And of course the devil will play the game with you, and he'll make sure that that's the day you can't find your car keys, and that's the day nobody does anything that's right. And then you've yelled at the kids, and now you're feeling bad about that. And your mom gave you a call to say good morning. You grouched at her because you didn't have time, so now you feel bad about that. And you get in your car and you get down almost to the entrance to your subdivision. You realize you left your cell phone at home, and so that adds to your frustration. Now you got to hurry up and go back and get that. Then you get in the house and you can't find it. Then you get on the highway and the traffic's bad, and you know you're going to be late for work, so you're thinking of all the excuses you can give. And you finally get there, and you're basically frustrated, upset, got this little weight of condemnation on you because of the way you acted. You know you should have spent time with God. You didn't do it. And the whole day basically just becomes a nightmare. Anybody been there? Done that? Now, if you're honest, you know that more than any other thing, the devil will fight you on your time with God. And the reason he does that is because that is more valuable to you than any other thing. Your time, your personal time with God, is more valuable to you than you being in this conference. It is the most important thing. I love Psalm 27:4. It says, "One thing have I desired, and that will I seek after, that I might dwell in his presence, behold his beauty all the days of my life." You need him a whole lot more than you need me. You need him a lot more than you need any of your friends. And I know we get all funny about this time with God thing. Well, what do? I don't think it matters so much what you do as it does just that you're giving God the time. Just by giving him the time, you're saying, I need you. Now, every morning is a fresh start in our life. Mornings are really wonderful. And you might say, well, I'm not a morning person, but I suggest you pray to get over it and stop saying that. And the reason why a lot of you aren't a morning person is because you don't go to bed at night. However, even if you're a person that sleeps till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then 2 o'clock in the afternoon is your morning. So I can't dictate to you how you do it. I personally like to go to bed early and get up early. I'm in bed every night by 9 o'clock, unless I'm out preaching. And a lot of times I'm asleep. Somewhere between 9 and 9:30. I get up almost every day between 5 and 5:30. And I would fight a bear to protect that time that I have with God in the morning, because I know that I absolutely 100% for sure cannot be the kind of person that God needs me to be to glorify him and do what I'm doing if I don't have that time with God. But it took me a long time to get there. I was no different than anybody else. I made every excuse. I got distracted. On and on and on and on and on. And God finally got it across to me: you are not going to stay alive if you don't spend time with me. And I think for me, he kind of meant it physically, that I needed that protection because of what I was doing. And so I've studied and studied and studied and studied a lot about seeking God's face and not His hand. And I just know that mornings are very important. My favorite time of the day is the first 2 hours of the morning. I want it quiet. I want to be left alone. The only person that I let get near me is my dog. She weighs 7 pounds and sits on the end of my recliner, and sometimes Dave will come in and say good morning, but that's about it. Otherwise, we're just like, Dave goes to his place, I go to my place, and if you want to know why this ministry is successful, I can tell you that that's probably the most important foundational thing that we do, because we know from the get-go that it's God and not us. I don't know how to get the money that I need to pay the bills for this ministry, so I just go seek God. And I don't even seek Him for money, I just seek Him. But every day is a fresh start. I love the way God's arranged it, that in these 24-hour periods where we're up about 16 hours and then we sleep 8 hours, and then it's amazing how much better things sometimes feel just in the morning, isn't it? You're tired by the end of the day, you need the rest, your mind needs the rest, your spirit needs the rest, everything needs to rest. One of the first things you need to do every morning is take care of every mess from yesterday by repenting and receiving God's mercy. Let's go to Lamentation 3, 19 through 23. O Lord, remember earnestly my affliction and my misery, my wandering and my outcast state, the wormwood and the gall. My soul has them continually in remembrance and is bowed down within me. But this I recall, and therefore have I hope and expectation. It is because of the Lord's mercy and loving kindness that we are not consumed, because His tender compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Beautiful. They are new every morning. Great and abundant is your stability and faithfulness. I kind of say just in fun that I guess God makes a new batch of mercy every morning because we use up all of yesterday's. Receive God's mercy. Don't stay mad at yourself. Whatever you did wrong, God knew you were going to do it before you did it. You're no surprise to God. He's not shocked about what you do. Ask for forgiveness, receive mercy, and go on. You cannot have a good day if you're under condemnation. It's not possible. That should be something that you do every morning. We're talking about how to get your day started right. Make some decisions early in the morning. The decisions that you make early in the morning are like getting dressed spiritually. I'm going to talk to you about that. You not only have physical clothing, you have spiritual clothing. And many people go out naked in the spirit. Look at Revelation 16:15. Behold, I'm going to come like a thief. Blessed, happy, and to be envied is he who stays awake, alert, and guards his clothes, so that he may not be naked and have the shame of being seen exposed. Now surely he's not talking about sitting with a rifle in front of your closet and guarding your clothes. But he says, guard your clothes and make sure that you're not seen naked and you end up embarrassed. And he's talking about spiritual nakedness. We literally get dressed spiritually as we make decisions. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad. I usually say that before I ever get out of bed. I start this regimen, this program that I'm talking to you about today. That's not a law to me. It's not a burden to me. I've just finally found out how to get the upper hand over the devil. And I know if I don't do something, he will. Empty space is still a place. And if all you offer is empty space, then the devil will be happy to fill it. So you better start thinking something on purpose before he starts thinking for you. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad. Then the next thing I do is I begin to thank God for everything that I can think of. Everything I can think of, from hot water to my kids to my husband, that I can walk, that I can see, and everything else. Receive God's mercy and then start making decisions. Every decision you make is like getting dressed spiritually. In Ephesians 6, the Bible talks about the armor of God, and it says, put on the full armor of God. Put on the breastplate of righteousness. Now, I believe the way that we put on that breastplate of righteousness is by receiving the mercy of God and then making a decision. I know who I am. I am the righteousness of God in Christ, and I am going to be bold in the Lord today and act like the person that I am. Now, when you do that, you've put on something spiritually that begins to cover you from the enemy. You put on the shoes of peace, and the way you do that is by making a decision. I don't know what's going to happen in my life today, but I'm deciding before I ever go out the door that whatever it is, I'm up for it.